Welcome back to the Oddity Shop podcast, the place where we tell you creepy, odd, weird, strange, and bizarre stories from around the little globe. I'm sitting here with the wonderful curator, Kara. Kara, how are you doing this morning?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Oh, not too bad.
And it's this morning.
It is the morning. We are up early, ready to go today. I'm your curator, Zach, and we're going to keep it super short this morning.
Yes. And we always know what that means. It means...
What does it mean, Kara?
We have a guest. So we're very, very excited. We have the amazing author, podcaster, storyteller, and adventurer. He's written tons of books. We have some of them. He's a researcher, a writer for Ghost Adventures, a series on PBS and Amazon Prime, and he's actually just downright hilarious. And every time we see him talk, we fall more in love with him. We have the most wonderful and kind person, Jeff Belanger.
Stop it. Stop it. Thank you.
Yeah. We're super excited you're here. Thanks for sitting down with us, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So, in case Kara missed anything, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself? Let the listeners know a little bit about who you are.
I've been doing this a long time. I love unexplained weird things. I started mainly in ghosts where I grew up in Connecticut. Sandy Hook, Connecticut was the town next to Monroe, where Ed and Lorraine Warren lived. So I knew them since I was about 13. And I just grew up loving paranormal. And then once you start down the rabbit hole, why go halfway, right? So
right.
I got into other stuff, cryptids and monsters and UFOs and, time travel, anything weird. I love the fringe because I feel like we learn the most about ourselves and about our culture from the very fringy experiences. So there's a lot of gold in those hills.
Yes,
we go down those same rabbit holes too, because I think we both started pretty much paranormal, and then we're like, wait, but it's connected to this, and like, what if ghosts are time slips? And then you just
all kinds of stuff.
Well, right, yeah, because some people, somebody sees something and they use their very best, whatever's in their toolkit to interpret it. You know what I mean? So, like, we might see something and go, oh, that could be a ghost, and then someone else would say that no, that's an alien, and someone else would say that's a cryptid, and someone else would say that's a hallucination. It's just a coincidence. And to the beholder, they're all correct, right? That's what you see it as.
And I think that's why we love this, because I don't really know if anyone's going to be 100% correct. And I think that's what makes it fun and exciting, is that we don't know.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, like you said, I love that you kind of go off of like folklore and things like that. And relate it back, because all that research, we're always talking about like weird stuff like that, right? Like it goes back so far. So it's like, did we just make it up? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. And so to me, the story is the thing that you can't argue with.
Yes.
Right? Like we can argue about what a ghost is and what happens after we die. We can argue about that until we die and find out.
Yes.
Right? But the fact that like this building has a haunted reputation, that lake, people have reported a lake monster. Like you can't argue with that. Like that story exists. It's gone around. There must be a reason why we're talking about this building, not the one next to it that's even older, not the one across the street. Right. It's just like, why this one? Well, the answer is something happened, which I know is not overly descriptive, but something happened. Someone saw something. Someone told the story. Someone else found it believable enough that they retold the story, or maybe they even went there for themselves to say, like, let me see what this is about.
Yeah.
And maybe they said, oh, my goodness, there really is something to it. And the legend grows.
We love that kind of stuff, too, because all of a sudden then you have the same story coming up across different cultures and everything else. And it's like the Hat Man comes to mind, right? Like we have no idea what that is, but you can't tell me without a doubt that something isn't happening if it's happening across different cultures, different timelines. Like it's just so mind blowing.
Oh, for sure. Or I live in Massachusetts, and in Eastern Mass, we've got this Wampanoag folklore about the puckwudgie.
Oh, I love
her
them.
favorite.
Yeah, the puckwudgie, right? So this little magical creature that can turn into a colored ball of light and lead you safely back home or off a cliff and kill you. Depends on the mood.
I just love it.
you can't count on, good or bad. It's whatever they're feeling that day. And then also like a miniature magical human, right? Like a small sized magical human. And I love that, right? Because it matches the same description to Inuit culture in Alaska and to Fey folk in Celtic culture in Ireland and parts of England and France and things like that. And so even Africa has got creatures described the same way. So either all these cultures had cell phones, right? I don't know, right? Like thousands of years ago, and then we lost them and got them back. Wouldn't that be awesome? If everyone
I was
was like,
just
yeah,
thinking,
no,
that's strange.
we were all on social media together. That's how we knew about all these creatures and shared the story. But then we realized how bad these things were for us. So we banned them. And then culture just went backwards, and we got along great for thousands of years, and now they're back.
Well, we should probably do that
Ready
again.
to rip us apart again.
That would explain everything. Oh my
God. It would.
Truly.
We have a unified theory now. Finally, it's the cell phone that did us in and is going to do us in again.
All right, guys, you heard it. We got to all trim off, throw them out. It's time. We're going back.
Oh my God.
The funny thing is, like, you ask 100 people, 99 of them will agree, like, we'd be better off without them. And then, okay, you want to give up your phone? No. Yeah. I have Candy Crush going on there. It's pretty fun. So.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Okay, what level? What level?
I don't even know. I'm just kidding. Like probably level 4.
4.
Yeah, I got all the way to 4, and I said, "All right, I'm good. I've mastered it. I've leveled up."
Well, because you're a very busy man.
Right.
How do you have time to even play Candy Crush?
So this is my full-time job and has been for 21 years
Yeah, I know,
now.
but you do a lot within your full-time job of this.
No, I know. Yeah, like, so I've got a weekly podcast, New England Legends, and I, Ghost Adventures was 17 years, and I'm writing books, and I do a lot of speaking tours, which is my favorite thing to do. And here's the trick. None of those things pay that well. So the only way to earn a living is to add them all up together.
Yeah.
So I wish, like, books alone, I wish I was getting $1 million advances. That'd be amazing, but I'm not. So I got to, like,
I know, you're just busy.
Yeah. So that's how it goes.
I mean, every time we see you, you're just like the most happy, pleasant, fun person. And it's like, I just love it so much. We're like, we had to talk to you because every time we meet you, we walk away and we're like, he is such an incredible human.
Oh, shucks. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
I guess I never grew up. That's part of it. I mean, like, what do you do for a living? Well, I look for ghosts and monsters and aliens. What do you do?
How did you get started in all of it? Like, okay, we heard you met the Warrens when you were 13, but like, where did the spark come from? Where did we decide, you know what, I'm going to throw away the regular life and just be an oddball, but that's what we call of our listeners. We love oddballs.
Yeah, I get it. No, so growing up, I was raised in a family that didn't poo-poo the idea of weirdness. Like, my dad and I saw a UFO when I was young, like, together, and it made the front page of the newspaper the next day. Not us, but like 200 phone calls. Like, obviously, lots of us saw this thing.
Oh wow, yeah, that's cool.
And so, he was just like, wow, this is so. I mean, we loved sci-fi as kids, loved X-Files, and I grew up like, oh, there's such thing as ghosts, and Dad was like, I don't know, and I'm like, that's a good answer, actually. Parents, take note.
Yeah.
Good answer. I'm not going to say no. I don't know. And that unknown is where a lot of growth can happen. If you're sure of something, well, what's the point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're never going to learn anymore.
Yeah, you're done.
Right,
you're like,
no,
oh no, this 2 + 2 is 8. That's that. Like, like, you might be wrong though, right?
Right.
So you at least got to work that out. You get 2 apples and 2 more, and what's it add up to again? But we live in a time where people will die on the hill to tell you 2 + 2 is 8.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're like, whoa, we're not even operating with the same set of facts. One of the things I've sort of learned is that I believe some of these old legends they're kind of like a sermon from the past.
Oh, okay.
Those of us that collect them makes us ministers, whether unwitting or not. Like, we are indeed telling these sermons. And the reason these are sermons from the past is because a legend exists because we have not reconciled with it yet. You know what I mean? Like, so unsolved murder. Like, so the unfinished business trope is my favorite, but I think we've all got it backwards, right? We think the ghost has unfinished business. Not true. Ghost business is complete. And I don't buy into, like, earthbound spirits because I've never found a place that's haunted 100% of the time. I would buy it if I did, and I'd charge a fortune for you to come in and look. Right?
That's a very good point.
Here's my building. If I open the door, it's $20 to see the ghost. It's $100 to go in and talk to the ghost. Right? Like, I mean, of course, but you open the door, the ghost may not be there. It's not up to me. Right? So it's up to something else. But the idea is that the unfinished business is that, okay, for example, like the Lizzie Borden house in Fall River, Massachusetts, right?
Yes.
2 people were murdered. No one was ever punished for that. That haunts us. It bothers us. We have unfinished business with the Lizzie Borden house. We want to know who done it and why exactly. We have our suspicions, strong ones, but we're not certain. In either way, no one was ever punished for that. And so we will keep kicking that around because we don't want it to happen again. So our unfinished business is a reminder, hey, sermon, like the reason you get a sermon in church, mosque, or synagogue is because these are stories of things that have happened in the past in a way to sort of like plan your life accordingly going forward. Well, let's not let murders go unsolved. Let's make sure that the criminals are punished. They're brought to justice. Let's make sure that we, hopefully the murder doesn't happen in the first place, that we watch out for our kids before they wander off into the woods and get eaten by a monster, whether that monster is figurative or literal.
Right.
And let's tell these stories because we want to keep ourselves safe and we want to do better in the future. And so history can be pretty dull and boring. It's facts and figures, but it often leaves out the story part. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I love that it totally turns the mirror around on us because I feel like
I like that take.
So many times you're going into haunted places and you see that hero complex. We're going to go in and help you cross over. We're going to go in and solve this thing or do you whatever. But it's so interesting to turn it around, like the lessons for us.
Of course it is. Yeah. So Gettysburg, which I think, have you guys been to Gettysburg?
I have not.
Okay. Well, I'll wait. You go.
Okay.
Let me know when you're back.
All right.
We'll call you back.
We'll pause this till you get back. I think so. We live in divided times, right? We know that because they tell us so. It's on the internet. It's on the news. People are fighting over everything all the time. Booing and protesting and all that other stuff. Which of course, you need a little grit to make pearls. So Gettysburg, I've been to a bunch throughout my life, and I love the fact that it was never developed. Right after the Battle of Gettysburg, July 1st through 3rd, 1863, no strip malls were put in, no built, nothing. It is as it was. Now, there's monuments and things, but they left the land as it was. President Lincoln said the place was haunted. He said so in the Gettysburg Address, right? We cannot hollow this ground. It's already been done far above our poor power to add or detract what these brave men, did here. He didn't blame a side. He was trying to unify things, but he said this ground is hollowed. It's haunted and it's haunting and it should be. The problem is you have 41,000 dead, missing, or wounded in 3 days. That is a staggering number. That's like, if you think of like an NFL football stadium, that's like 2/3 full, right? A lot of them are around 60,000, right? So
that's wild.
That's a staggering number of people, but it's a cold and meaningless number. It's just a stat. If we told you the story of one guy at the Daniel Lady farm who left his bloodstains soaked into the floor as he waited to get a limb amputated, someone who represents a father, a husband, a brother, a son, a cousin, a friend, a neighbor. And we tell that one story of one person that haunts that building. Then you can multiply that by 41,000 in your head and go, oh my.
Yeah. Then it becomes super emotional.
Yeah. They were all somebody. And so I kind of feel like if we could get like all of America to Gettysburg for like a nationwide meeting and everybody just take a knee, right? Take a knee, everybody. And then 41,000 ghosts rise up from the ground in Gettysburg and looks at us and goes, oh, is America divided, you bunch of cupcakes? Right?
Oh my God.
You guys are fighting on the internet? Oh, you poor things.
Oh, goodness.
We died here just trying to go 10 feet up that hill. This is what divided looks like. And let that haunt you, right? Let's not go back to this. So those stories, like I've always loved history, and I love that there's something we still have to learn from it, because I'll be darned if it doesn't repeat over and over again.
Oh, it's all cyclical.
Yeah. And so when something happens, I'm like, we've been here before, when COVID hit, I was like, I'd done a lot of stories about vampires in New England. And I was just like, oh, this is familiar.
Yeah.
Right.
Except back then it was consumption or tuberculosis. Yeah. And now it's something else. So, anyway, it repeats.
Wild.
But that's our unfinished business. I could tell you the story about a guy that was so scared that his son was sick that he literally removed his dead daughter from a burial crypt, had her heart surgically removed, burned into ashes, and turned into an elixir to feed to her son.
We talked
insane.
about this.
I was going to say, Kara, I think you've covered that one.
Yeah, Marissa Brown. Yeah, we covered it because I just found that fascinating.
Absolutely. No, and this was 1892, same year as Lizzie Borden, right? And so that sounds so ludicrous until you're the one that's already lost your wife, your older daughter, your younger daughter, and now your son is like not doing well. And everybody tells you like, it's just bad luck. You got a bacteria that's going around. It's contagious, or it's the will of God. And that answer doesn't sound good either.
No.
And so someone says, you know what? you might be the victim of a vampire. And if you can break the spell, you might save your son.
Yeah, at least now you have a glimmer of hope of something.
It's
you gotta
worth
try.
a shot.
Yeah,
you gotta try.
You gotta try.
Yeah, no, it's staggering. The whole thing, all of it. And so everything is stupid until you're the one in it and you go, oh, but I realize now, and COVID gave us a glimpse, right? Where you do the things you do out of fear and love, right? You're afraid. Yeah. You don't want to get sick. You don't want to lose the people you care about. You love them. So you'll do desperate things, desperate, crazy things, right? Yeah. Just in the sense of self-preservation and preserving, your family. And when we were in the thick of it, I remember thinking like all this stuff, like all of it, people mad about masks, that happened during the Spanish flu, in the early 1900s. Like we've been here before, folks. And all the same stupid arguments people are making, they were made back then too, Yeah. Like it's not going to get me until you die, Right?
Yeah, it's all fake.
So, and it didn't get some people, right? Some people were like, see, told you. And you're like, yeah, we'll tell that to the many who died.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, we could talk about this forever.
Yeah. When are we recording, by the way? Are we going to start this thing? Let's do
whatever.
it.
We never have a plan. We love to see where things go. So shoot.
Hit record. Let's see what happens.
Oh, man. So,
oh, my God.
I've always wanted to know from you, how the hell did you get started writing for Ghost Adventures? Like that is... I think it's one of those things that's one of those shows that no matter what your feelings are on it, it pulls so many of us into the paranormal. And like, even if people maybe haven't heard your name who are listening to the show, they definitely know your research and your writing. So how did that journey start? So Ghost Adventures started filming the series in 2008. They had already done a documentary that aired on the Sci-Fi Channel. I was not part of that.
Okay.
By 2008, I'd already written a bunch of books about like haunted places all over the world. And Zach had just landed an 8-episode deal. Ghost Adventures got an 8-episode deal with the Travel Channel, and he was friendly with Dave Schrader. And he called Dave and said, from Darkness Radio at the time, he's like, Dave, I need someone that knows haunted places everywhere. And Dave's like, you want Jeff? He's got all these books. He's got ghostvillage.com. He's got this amazing network. And so Zach called me, and I was like, oh, well, I've written about ghosts for newspapers and magazines and the web, but not TV yet. I'm like, okay, just a different medium.
Yeah.
And so I met with the production company and I was just like, okay, I guess this, because, back then you got phone calls all the time from people in TV, and they make it sound like they've got a green light and a big bag of money and they're ready to go. And so often, 99% of the time they don't,
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, well, maybe this is real. And then it was real. We got started, and it was just supposed to be 8 episodes. That was it. And it was really cool to be part of something new where we're just literally building the show from the ground up. And then it started to air. And then I thought, well, that was it. That was a fun bunch of months of my life. And, now we'll just move on to something else. And then the Travel Channel said, no, we have a hit. We're going to keep going. And that was, 2008. So it's been a run.
That's been awesome. Around for sure.
Yeah.
Is there like a specific episode that always stuck out to you as like, holy crap, this is the one that like just changed my thought and perspective on everything when you dug into it?
Yeah. So Penhurst is the one.
I'm so sorry. I do not mean to interrupt you, but the piece. Do you know Jeff Fent?
No.
Okay, so he makes these boxes. They're beautiful, but he makes them out of different places, like wood and stuff from different places. And so the equipment that we got over the weekend is from Penhurst. That's driving us to be crazy today. So that's just so funny that you said that.
So, okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, Penhurst is also, so when we filmed there, we were the first ghost show in. They had just sold to like a new private owner.
Okay.
That owner was open to, paranormal. No one had been open to it before. People were breaking in, but they weren't, it was not legitimized. And now, of course, that Penhurst is a ghost factory. Like people come in and out of there all the time. So at the time I was like, okay, abandoned asylum. I know what to do. We've done a bunch. And sadly, so many of those abandoned asylums have the same story. Like this is the same. I don't care if it's in New York or Michigan or Kansas or wherever. It's so that these facilities were needed. They were built. People got good help. They had a good place to go. Then it got overcrowded. Then it got underfunded, and it just degraded from there. And then we shut them all down, and then our homeless population swelled, and our prison population swelled. So
because when you open the door and take away the support,
some people need to be in an institution. It's just that's it. They cannot do they can't do life. They need someone to like oversee every step of it. One way to do that is to go to jail. It doesn't seem like the best way, but anyway, so we start digging on Pennhurst, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is a little different. There's a federal law because of Pennhurst, and it has to do with how you can and can't treat people with mental disabilities because of atrocities that took place there in the 1970s. And I was like, oh, 1970s. I'm going to say it one more time. 1970s.
That's
not
very
18,
recent.
Not 17, right? Like, I was like, oh dear. And then we started talking to some of the people. Like, I spoke to a nurse who said her job when she first got there was she and another nurse would change adult diapers on about 100 patients who were literally chained to beds. They couldn't take care of even their own bathroom needs.
Wow.
And so she would change 100 diapers. And she said, by the time you were done, it was pretty much time to start again.
Yeah.
And she said some of those patients would rub their feces in their hair and in their skin, not because they're crazy or stupid or anything like that, but because it was the only way to get a bath. It was the only way to get physical contact and touch. Otherwise, they would
Oh my God, I'll start crying.
Nothing. And so I was just like, oh, if we treated animals this way, we would have the good sense to like string these people up and hang them from a tree, right?
Yeah.
We would think nothing of it. And people would be like, you did what to dogs? Oh yeah, hang them, right? Like, but so then I started talking to some of the doctors, and this guy Bill Baldini, who was a reporter in Philadelphia, saw these conditions and did this expose, which eventually got the place shut down. He saw people in dog kennels. He saw like
oh my God.
people that were they couldn't be managed, so they were locked into dog kennels. And what they would tell you when you drop your loved one off there is don't call, don't write, don't visit. We're the pros. We got this. You'll mess up the routine. And people trusted them. And they weren't monsters that ran this place. It's just they were underfunded, understaffed, and just trying to survive, trying to like do what they could. So by the time that place shut down, and I even talked to a former patient there, and she said, oh, it was really not nice. She said, if you bit someone more than once, they removed all your teeth surgically, you know.
Oh, that just makes my mouth hurt.
And they would, but you bit because you were desperate.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else could you do?
Yeah. That's not the first move, you know? So I was just really moved by it. And I've been there a few times now. And I mean, that's one of those places I'm as psychic as a fence post, but when I walked in, I just remember feeling like, whoa, this building has something to say.
Yeah.
And we're the ones that are going to say it first, at least. I mean, I know it's been told by others now, but at the same time, I was like, all right, this sort of feels important. This feels bigger than just a haunted building and a ghost story, because sometimes a haunting can make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But that's okay, because discomfort is where you grow. You know, if you're comfortable all the time, then you're not going anywhere.
Right.
And so I felt like, and the most profound thing that I heard one of the doctors say, and this was in the episode, this was in, one of the former doctors, he said, as soon as you can think of another group of people as something less than yourself, there's no limit to how poorly you can treat them. Mm-hmm. And that gave me a chill, because that's true, like across the board and everything.
Yeah, that's deep.
If you think of like Republicans as less than yourself, if you think of Democrats as less than yourself, right? Then whatever, who cares? Stomp them out, right? And they're human beings with just, so I feel like there's such a bigger lesson here.
Yeah.
About like how we treat people. And if you believe in ghosts, then you sort of have to believe in an afterlife of some sort.
Yeah.
Then how do you live your life if there's something more? Like, at the very least, how do you want to be remembered? And I think some of these stories allowed us to really ponder some really big and deep and important questions under the guise of like a couple of guys running around in the dark, looking for ghosts.
Yeah.
But there's that's the entertainment. I get it. That's why people watch.
Absolutely.
Right. 100%.
But like, there's ways to sort of slide some things in that you might not have considered. And that was really cool. I was really proud of that episode.
Hey, Zach, are you running low on spiritual supplies?
Hey, Kara, are you looking for a place with handmade items?
Yeah, we should probably go to Mystic Moons.
Oh, our buddies?
Yeah.
They make the most wonderful hand-dipped incense with over 24 scents, and we've smelled absolutely every single one of them.
Yeah, or maybe you might just be looking for a hand-strung bracelet made with only the best intentions.
And not only do they have the best intentions, they have 4 strings each, and they last forever, which I would know because I've broken every bracelet you've made for me and not theirs.
Oops. Well, they also have simmer pots for every occasion, like San to Yule.
And don't forget, Melinda is also a medium and a tarot card reader who's given us amazing readings. So she's ready to help us or you connect with past loved ones and get to know insights into your world.
My spirit animal is a camel. Thanks, Melinda. Anyway, so look for Mystic Moons on Facebook or Etsy, and then you can restock all your spiritual supplies.
Oh, be sure to check them out at www.etsy.com/shop/Mystic Moons LLC.
Or at Mystic Moons on Facebook. They're all over our socials, so I'm sure you'll find them.
So go get some goodies. Okay, Kara, goodbye.
Bye.
That's such a cool position for you to be in, right? Because the entertainment factor is so big that the amount of effect you've gotten to have by slipping those things into the episodes and doing that research is just incredible.
Well, yeah, thanks. No, it's there's got to be a reason, right? So every haunting needs a reason. Like if someone tells you that building's haunted, the next word out of your mouth should be why?
Why?
Right? I mean, well, what happened there? Who lived there? Who died there? Like what events have transpired in and around this building? And to answer that, you have to go back in time and start exploring and start asking. And then when you do that, when you start peeling back the layers, you're like, oh, wow, this is cool. Like you learn how a community evolved around something, how, one of the stories I got to work on, this was for the Shock Doc series on Discovery. It was the Devil Made Me Do It case of Lorraine Warren. Mm-hmm. And that was also made into one of the Conjuring movies, but it was, the town of Brookfield. And I grew up in the next town over from Brookfield. It was like Monroe, Newtown, Brookfield. And Brookfield had one murder in 250 years. Like, you know how hard that is to do?
Right.
Like, I mean, someone's going to kill somebody. You know what I mean? Like in just about any town. But this was the one murder Brookfield ever had. And it was this case that was pretty open and shut. Couple of drunk guys get in an argument. One has a knife, stabs the other. Over a girl, and then that really should have been the end of it. And then Ed and Lorraine Warren jumped in and said, no, he can't be held liable for his actions. He was under demonic possession, and turned it into a media circus. And I fundamentally disagree with almost every single thing, the way they handled that from top to bottom. However, I appreciate the sociological impact that what they did had in that particular case.
Yeah.
That's one of the things we always say about the Warrens, where we gotta love them for everything they've done for the field, but not everything was a demon. They've done so much to bring it to the forefront.
And I can tell you factually, they were wrong a lot. Like Ed Warren would just get on a roll and be like, America was founded in 1984 by Eddie Van Halen. I'm like, I don't think that's true. I mean,
you're like, okay.
But he'd just keep going. And you're like, okay. I mean, and I get it. Sometimes the date is not totally important. It's the story that's more important. Right. But if you're wrong, you're wrong. And then you start asking like, well, what else are you wrong about? That being said, they had some mind-blowing stuff that I've seen.
Sure.
I remember seeing some of this now. Like he showed me a video once where he panned a video camera right by the sun. And then he stopped it frame by frame, and it looked like this outline of this woman's head, sort of walking by. And I'm like, Ed, you aimed a video camera at the sun. It's going to be completely overwhelmed with all kinds of stuff. That's not, cameras aren't meant, your eye isn't meant to look at the sun. Neither is a camera. That's not. And so some of those I'm like, I don't think anything of it. But I remember him showing me one video he took in Union Cemetery in Easton. And there's this famous ghost I grew up with, the White Lady of Easton. Mm-hmm. And he had that thing positioned right outside the gate. And this wispy white figure sort of took shape.
I think I've seen that video.
I don't know if because he used to keep that one close to the vest.
Or maybe it's not, or maybe I've just seen something that looked like that.
Do they talk about it in The Demonologist? I think I remember reading that story. Yeah, I think that's where we know it from. Okay. Yeah,
okay.
But the video, so he's like, this is my. I remember he showed me at his house, and he showed me the video on a VHS type, and I was like, oh my god, that.
That's
okay,
cool.
It was 5 or 6 seconds. That's a long time.
Yeah,
that's a really long time. Yeah. It's not frame by frame. See it? You're
no, that's cool.
So I was like, whoa, so some of the stuff he did was just incredibly compelling.
Well, listen, we're all wrong at sometimes. So
for sure. Of course.
So you get excited, you get your bias in there. Yeah.
Right.
Sorry. Go on,
I just have a question, kind of going back to Ghost Adventures. So How long, or is it just dependent on the place, do you do the research before you kind of write the episode?
Typically a week is what we had. We'd have like a week to prep.
Wow. That's not a lot of time.
No, it's not. That's how the show went for a long, long time. It was just everything was sort of last minute. And then so about a week. But a week's pretty good. Honestly, I can do a lot. And it's also it's television. So we are not going to get too far in the weeds with
That's true.
Yeah.
Like if you're writing a book, you can really expound. You know, you have pages and pages to talk about the backstory and the architect of the building and what it meant to the original owner and all this other stuff. With TV, we've got like 3 minutes to convey, enough.
That's wild when you break it down to a time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
No.
And then we need to hear from the people that have had ghost experiences.
Right.
So, so we want time to interview them, and then they got to get to their investigation. So yeah, it's not a whole lot, but we want to make sure we do uncover whatever we can uncover. And that included, digging through news archives and stuff like that, being like, oh, there was a murder on the second floor. And so they know when they get there, like, okay, second floor is where the murder happened. And then the witness said, oh, on the second floor, this happened. So, stuff starts to come together.
Was that hard for you then, coming from like writing books and stuff, to just like have to like only have like a short time frame to get all this stuff in? At
first it was.
Okay.
When you're used to like, maybe it's like landing a plane, right? If you have like a 3-mile runway, this you can get her down, right? When your runway is like a football field, you're like, okay, no room for error. So also when the show was new, everything had to be learned. So you overdo everything. You overshoot, you overwrite, you over research. And then over the years, we were just like, oh, this is what we really need. And so the whole team was pretty adept at just being like, this is what we need to do the episode. And we could cut out a lot of the extra work.
That's awesome.
But you still got to, and I know sometimes I'm guilty, but nobody else knew this, but like I would go far down a rabbit hole on something and just be like, oh my God, this is really wild. And I just wanted to know more. And maybe it made it or maybe it didn't. A lot of times it didn't, because you're just like, oh, no one's going to care. But once in a while you find something where you're just like, oh, this story might be connected to this story.
I understand that, because even like our episodes, we do our own research, right? And we write each episode that we present to each other. And sometimes we go down these rabbit holes and I'm like, this might be this might not even need to be talked about, but I found it cool. Like, I don't know, this episode might be really long just because.
Or it might not even make sense anymore. Like the original topic is now just lost.
Yes. So we get that.
So I'm a Star Wars fan, right? And when the first Star Wars was written, that backstory was sort of known to George Lucas. Now we would later see the backstory, but so no story in the history of stories has ever begun at the beginning. I mean, I guess Genesis and the Bible, there was light. All right, I guess that one has a true beginning. But otherwise, think of any movie, any book, any story you have ever read or heard in your life. It just starts. It jumps in somewhere, Yeah,
you just get a clip of
you're just like,
bigger picture.
We're in,
I don't think I've ever thought of it that way.
No story has a beginning. None. And arguably, you could even say the Bible, like, well, what was there before the light and the dark, right? Like, so there was always something before. Yeah. But the author decided that this is where we're going to pick it up, and then let's see where it goes. Wow. So every legend has a backstory, and that's the thing I love, right? How did we get to right now? Sometimes you find gold in those hills, but you also have to learn as you present these stories that, I might find something terribly interesting, but I don't need to bore you with it. I remember when I my second book, this was like 2005 or something. It was called Communicating with the Dead. And I'm like, I'm going to just pick apart the various ways people use to communicate with spirits. And so I looked at spirit photography. Orbs were huge back then, right? Orbs were just because everyone had 1 megapixel video cameras or half megapixel cameras that picked up all the dust and everything else. And, you take pictures in haunted places, which are often dusty, and you get all these orbs. And so I'm like, all right, how does a camera work? And I learned that there's like 6 to 8 lenses in that little camera you had that was correcting and reflecting and refracting light. And I started to like talk about it in front of audiences. I'm like, look, this is how a camera works. Did you start there? Like before you ask, like, is there a ghost? Like, well, how does the camera work? How does your eye work? And I would explain it, and I would go on, and people were just drooling and asleep. And I'm
I
like,
don't think that's true.
no, it was. I promise.
I don't
I've gotten
know.
better. That was.
I could listen to you talk about toilet paper.
You say that, but I mean, because I would know what not to tell you about toilet paper.
All right.
Fair. I'd be like, the next hour is on 2-ply versus 1-ply.
See, I don't know. I think I would enjoy it.
It seems like a long time to talk about 2-ply or 1-ply. I mean, I think I got it just in the name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, like, what did you eat? Was it a lot of Mexican? You might need 2-ply.
Oh my God.
So anyway, but I would get so down into the weeds with some of this stuff and explain it, and the audience was just like, I just show me ghosts. I just want to see ghosts.
Yeah.
And I went, oh, okay. I'm going to have to trick you to learn things.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, okay, I can trick you. It's fine. I can slip it in here
I can do it.
Yeah. I was like, I'll find a way to
oh my God. That's
as
fun.
a writer, right? Any writer should read Strunk and White, The Elements of Style. It's a short little book about good writing. And rule 17 is omit needless words, right? So the more succinct you can be, always the better. And that's true in all communication. It's just, if you can use less words, it's better. So over time, I was just like, how can I distill this down into like the fewest possible words to be succinct and have some bite to it? Because the reality is that some people are going to be really interested in it and want to know the mechanics, and some are just going to be like, just show me ghosts. I don't care.
Yeah.
Which you can see how far you've come as a storyteller, because I feel like the few times we've seen you met, one, it's like from the minute you start till it ends, people are absolutely hooked.
Yeah. Well,
although the last time may have been because you did threaten to lock us all in the room and nobody could leave. So we all were really,
that sounds like me.
Where
was it? Where was the last time you saw me?
Michigan Paracon.
Oh, that was Michigan Paracon. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Cool. That's always a fun. Yeah.
That's sad.
Oh, we miss it so much.
I bet they come back.
We've been saying that. We're like manifesting over here. Like
it's just going to be a couple years. They need to take a chill.
I talk to Brad and Tim all the time. And,
yeah.
I know they miss it too. And they miss the friends and stuff of everybody getting together, once a year. But the reality is, so this is where we're at. All the ghost shows are pretty much off the air, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
And so there's no huge draw anymore for these events, because people would say like, oh my gosh, I get to go meet so-and-so that's in my living room every week, right? And
that's very true.
So the star power is so greatly diminished. Now, I know there's influencers, there's people that have like 500,000 followers on TikTok or whatever, but they're not a draw, like for the most part. It's not the
same, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the person on your phone is not the same as the person on your big screen in your living room. And TV in general is like, TV doesn't know what to do with itself, right? They're just like we're in trouble. The TV industry is not doing well. People still want to watch stuff, but like, these networks are now competing with TikTok and YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where, like you were saying, you had 3 minutes before. Now you have 13 seconds to hook somebody, and if you don't, they're gone.
And TikTok and YouTube are paying precisely zero for their content.
Right.
And CBS and NBC and all of those cable networks pay a fortune. And so they're just like, oh, our competitor pays nothing and has way more viewers than we do.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, just think of the business meetings that must happen. Like, but we've got these great actors and writers and producers and directors. And they're like, yeah,
that is a bummer.
And this is a video of a cat jumping away from a cucumber. It's kicking our butt. That now they don't even need a cat or a cucumber to make it. They just throw it through an algorithm and AI. Yeah. Here's my prediction with AI. Are you guys old enough to remember clip art?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So remember, like, all of a sudden, like Microsoft, PowerPoint and stuff had a clip art library.
Yes.
And people abused it. I mean, abused it to like I could put one piece of clip art on this poster or 40. I'll do 40, right? And so it was like clip art, come to the summer barbecue. And then everyone was just like, that's the ugliest, like, people that I know it's just a flyer for like bagel lunch or whatever, but you're just like, that is really ugly. And then we got better. And then we started using like stock photography. People are abusing AI now. They are overusing it the way we overused clip art. I predict that there will be a leveling off, hopefully before, some cataclysmic event makes everybody think that it's real. And
yeah. Yeah, hopefully that shiny object syndrome
goes
away.
I'll be right back. My child is screaming to be let outside. Hold on.
That would be her child with 4 legs, not a human child screaming to be let outside.
No judgment if her human child has 4 legs. That'd be amazing.
It would be pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the decor back there. Look at skulls upon skulls.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, we're slowly building out. That's the thing. Now we have to grab people's attention. We're going from verbal and it's like, okay, now we have to get on TikTok and do videos and set up studios. So it's coming along.
Okay, wait. So look, let me say this. You missed everything, Kara.
It's fine.
Start over.
I'm going to have to run back to get her. Here's the thing. It's the first real snowfall and it's her favorite thing. So she's just going to be at the back door screaming all day to be rolling in snow.
Oh, that's cute.
It is.
So you can say I'm not on TikTok, right? And I've always taken the position, I'm an adult. But
I thought you were a child.
At heart, right? I've got the heart of a child.
Yes.
The jar on my desk. But so anyway, so I'm like, that's not my comfort zone. And you could make yourself nuts making content all day, or you could say, what do I really want to work on? If you want to work on that, by all means, have at it, right? But if you're like, no, I want to do long form stuff, then do long form stuff. There are people that don't want a snack; they want a meal, and I made the decision a while ago, that's my people. I don't want the snackers. I want the people that want a meal. So if you want a snack, go to your fridge, go to your cupboard. If you're ready to sit down to a meal, come to my restaurant. That's my strength. And that would be either one of my books or sitting down to one of my talks or something I do that's not going to be under 30 seconds. Can't work like that. So no apologies. That's who I am. That's my strength. And I'm not going to try to be something just for the sake of because I know people that have hundreds of thousands of TikTok followers. And I'm just like, how do you maintain that? You got to do videos every day, all day.
It's hard. It's ridiculous.
Right. It's insane.
And I'm like, do you make any money? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, that's fine. If you love to do it, I don't care. Then do it by all means. Is it helping? Is it getting you where you want to be? And I think for a lot of people, the answer is no, it's not. Well, what is helping? What is helping you get to where you want to be? Is it researching and writing and putting out your own book, which gets you speaking engagements, which gets you, whatever? Or is it, making a great podcast that you really edit and you take your time and you put it together? And is it, filming short form documentary or long form documentary, whatever? What's the thing that makes you feel like it's getting you further? Yeah. And then put your time and effort into that. And don't get caught up being like, oh no, this group has more followers than I do or whatever. Someone always will have more followers.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. And comparison just makes you lose all joy in this.
Right.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah. You watch these stats like I do too, right? I'm just like, how come this podcast got this many downloads and that one got that?
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't always know.
I have to go back though to what you were saying though about the meal. First of all, that's a great comparison.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't know if you realize how good of a cook you must be. But holy crap, do you have some just diehards out there? It was hilarious. This weekend, we were at a convention down in Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Yeah.
It was really actually fun because it was a new convention. So not many people came through and then the snow happened and it just killed it. But the camaraderie between all the vendors who were just shuffling the same money around between all their tables because, nobody else was buying anything.
Yeah.
But you just really got to know each other. We had started talking to this one guy and very Santa Claus looking guy. And we're talking about our favorite people in the field. He goes, you know who I just love? I've got such a man crush on that Jeff Belanger. He's going on and on.
So cute. And I was like, okay, well, I have to tell you then that we're actually talking to him tomorrow. And he's like, oh my God. I swear it was so cute. He's like, I just love him. I'm like, oh, so do we.
I'm around me all the time. I'm not that impressed.
But it ties back to what you're saying about the meal, right? You can see the passion in what you're doing really creates such a fan base around what you do because you can see the care and the passion that goes into it,
So back to the TikTok then let's put a bow on this, right? So TikTok is a snack. We all agree, right? You only have 13 seconds, maybe 30, right? Whatever. And so then I said, because I've seen, and some of these people are really smart. I've gotten to talk to them like, wow, you really got a brain and you think about this stuff and it's cool, but they don't have lines of people waiting to meet them, at a convention or whatever.
Right.
And I think it's because, they didn't spend a lot of time with you. They spent 20 seconds with you. Or maybe you're just lucky enough to be born attractive. And I didn't even hear what you said. I was just lost in your eyes or whatever, right? That's true all around. I mean, let's just be honest. There are people that are like just wicked attractive, and you're like, oh, that's your 1 million followers. Or like my favorite, like I'm in lingerie in front of a haunted building, and I'm just like, yeah, as one does.
Great.
Of course. Yeah.
Wait, there's a building there?
Yeah, there's a building. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. So on the one hand, the TV shows are more of a meal. You would sit down for an hour with these shows in your living room, in your very intimate private space, and you would week after week spend time with whoever, Josh Gates or Amy and Adam or Ghost Adventures or Ghost Hunters, whatever you liked. And so to meet them, you're like, wow, I have spent a lot of time with you. And that time equates to like someone that's really into what you do in your work. If I spend 20 seconds with you once a week, it takes a long time to add up to even 1 hour.
So this just like kind of popped in my brain. So I don't know if any of us are going to have an answer, but how do you think we can get people back to not being so just that 20-second, like I'm not articulating it the way it's in my brain, but basically, because even me, like I can't even lie about it. It's like, it is so hard for me now to just sit down and actually watch any type of show, whether I'm just doing a million things and I'm busy, we have a lot going on, but like, it is so hard for me to just want to sit down and actually enjoy a full show of something, where it is like, I'm more of like a YouTube person, just like a quick thing. And then I can also be like, it's not really that great. I'm just going to get up and walk away. I wonder like how we can get people back to wanting to enjoy just like waiting for like the next episode to come out or to sit down and enjoy that type of stuff. Like, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, totally. It's easy.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, you need a show that you're into. Any other questions I can help you with?
And we need to throw the cell phones out.
No, it's not. I'm not kidding at all. Like, so look, there was one night where I was like, I don't get to watch much TV at all. Like this past month, I'm gone every night doing my live show, and then during the day, I'm catching up on all my other work. Like it was just nonstop for like a month.
Then thank you so much for sitting here with us today.
No, of course. Well, it's slowing down a little now that it's November, but it's but at the same time, like there was one night I had a night to myself. TV was mine. I didn't have to argue with anybody over what was on it. And I'm like, I want a good cheeseball sci-fi movie. Like that's my guilty pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I got 10 minutes into 6 different movies.
See that? Yeah.
And I'm just like, nope. But once in a while you pop something on and you're like, oh, I'm going nowhere until this is over. Like a good documentary will pull me in. Like, but I'll give anything like 5 minutes, but then if you don't have me by then, same with a book. I know how that works. You're in the bookstore. You read the first page of a book before you're going to buy it, whatever that book is. And if you're like, oh, then you're in. Like I want to keep going. If you're like, I don't care on page 1, there's no hope. And
I mean, I agree with where you're coming from, but I'm just like thinking my niece and nephew, right? So they're younger. I don't even know how I would get them to like sit down and try to find a show that they would want to watch. Yeah. That's what I mean. I feel like our younger generations, it's just like hopeless for that type of stuff, which is really sad because, like we were talking about it, it's sad that these conventions aren't the way that they are. And like the nostalgia of just like wanting to sit down every week and watch a show is just not there anymore. And I understand our world changes. It's just going to happen, but I don't know.
Something else happened. So I get emails from time to time, like, I think my house is haunted. Do you want to investigate it? I generally don't do that. Right. Yeah. Because usually the problems are way bigger than ghosts and I'm not qualified. I'm just not. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not, a social worker. That's not my background. I can't come in and help you. And I don't want to let anyone down. Or even worse, sometimes you're like, I don't think this place is haunted. I think you're an alcoholic and you've got open bottles of booze in every room. And I think you're literally like got delirium tremors right now and you need AA. Yeah. And then that's not what they want to hear,
No, not at all.
Then you get yelled at and it's a fight and you're like, oh, this is great. Glad I came out here for free. So but something that's changed is 15 years ago, like there was 1,000,000,004 paranormal research groups, right? Mm-hmm. They were everywhere. Every town had a team. They all had matching t-shirts. They were all black matching t-shirts, yes. Right? The name was always like a word like spirits, the supernatural, paranormal, like
always an acronym.
Yeah, always an acronym, there were so many of them and they were doing really cool things. And they were social groups too. Like this was a place where like everybody could sort of belong. There was always a leader though, that eventually would drive people away. you know? And then the group would split into like the East Side spirit team and the West Side spirit team. And now there's 2, right? So,
oh my God, that's so
I'm a better ghost hunter than you. I should start my own group. And then, you know, so there was, but this, where'd they go? You know, like, and I know they were fueled by the TV shows, because every TV show, there was Taps, there was the Wraith Chasers. There were all these guys that guys and girls that had these groups, and there was a model that you saw every week, and you're like, well, we should just start our own here, and we could be local celebrity, and they were, and so, but where did they go? And that's too bad, because some of them were doing some really cool stuff.
I know.
Like they had, like, I remember one group that like, we've investigated this building like over 100 times, because it's like our clubhouse. We have total access to it, and I'm like, that's brilliant. Like, you're going to know it inside and out. You're going to do it again and again, and not just like pop into town, go someplace and be like, do you hear that ticking in the wall? It's a ghost. You're like, no, that's where the hot water is.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I know.
Yeah, you've done the scientific research on that one. Like, you've debunked deeply. Yeah.
You're like, oh, someone just stepped on the 4th step up, because that one always creaks. You know, and
I'm gonna go let this little weasel in. Hold on, sorry guys.
Let the weasel in for sure. So yeah, no, but again, like, where'd those groups go? I miss them. I wish they would come back. And then those groups would all go to the conventions, and then it was like this great big social hangout. And that's a lot of the stuff that we've lost, which is too bad.
And I think you could kind of see that even in like the last couple of years of Michigan Paracon, right? You saw the same faces over and over again. You were losing that new excitement, which, I mean, is still always a blast, but it wasn't growing. And I could only imagine the work that those guys were doing. I mean, they were, I'm sure, starting to plan the next one before the first one even finished, you know?
Yeah.
So it's...
Yeah, that's right. 2 months before. It was generally 14 months to put together one of those. Wow. So the other thing too is that, you know, 10, 15 years ago, there were so many young people that were coming up to do this. And I don't see young people much anymore. It's all 30 something is like the youngest I seem to see. And then 40, 50, 60, you know, which is fine. Like, cool. Like, all right. So it's like pickleball, right? I mean, no young people do that either. I'm proud to say I'm not old enough to do pickleball yet.
I ripped my shorts the first time I tried. I haven't gone back. All right. It was not for me.
Oh my God.
But yeah, so my question is, how do we get young people sort of intrigued with this and doing like further research instead of just, you know, repeating the same old thing? And that I don't have a good answer. I don't know.
It was something to think about. Yeah. How do we keep it fresh, but still get that meal out of it?
Yeah.
I don't know. We've got to figure it out.
All right. So I know we told you we'd only take about an hour. Before we run out of time, we want to hear what are some of the new projects you're working on?
Well, I just had a new book come out. Yeah, a new book just called Wicked Strange, New England, which is about all the weirdness in New England. I cover ghosts and monsters, roadside oddities, eccentrics, weird history, that kind of stuff. It's a full color book with the photography of Frank Grace, who he and I have done a calendar together for 12 years now. And like, he's such a great photographer. His images are so eerie. He's amazing. And so we've been talking forever about doing a book. So that finally came out, which was really cool. And then I started a zine back in February. And a zine, for those of you who I can see from your blank faces, you're like, so a zine is short for magazine.
That's what I thought. Okay. I did think that.
Yeah. So when I was starting in the 1990s, desktop publishing was exploding. Back then, media was sort of consolidating, right? There was only a few big radio companies that owned all the radio stations, a few newspaper companies that owned all the newspapers, and then cable networks. So there was like 40 or 50 people that controlled all the media. And then zines came around, and zine was like the wild west of publishing. A zine could be literally like written on a typewriter, photocopied and stapled in the corner and like handed out on the street. Like, that was a zine. Or you could get it professionally printed. But the important part was there was no corporate oversight. You said what you wanted to say,
right?
You know, and you gave it away or you sold it or whatever. And so I started Shadowzine back in February, because that's where I started. And I used to do like page layout and stuff. And I was just like, I missed it. And so what happened? Zines went away because the internet came along. And all of a sudden you were like, okay, so a zine, it's expensive, paper and everything else, like in time. And then the internet, I'm like, $100 a year and unlimited publishing. Oh my gosh, sign me up, right? And so the early days of the web was wild. I mean, my website, Ghost Village, got huge, you know, absolutely massive. And then today, there's like 6 people who control the internet. And I'll tell you who they are, right? And just by company. Facebook, which is also Instagram, X/Twitter, True Social if you want, TikTok, Reddit, YouTube, right? I mean, I don't know. There's probably one or two others in there somewhere that you could argue. But those
you're
people,
getting 99% of it.
Yeah, but that's where most people spend most of their time. They don't venture off.
Yeah.
Those websites are still out there, but they're like, if it's not on Facebook, if it's not on Instagram, if it's not here or there, I'm not looking anywhere else. I get stuck on this one thing because it's just, it knows what I like. And so I was like, you know what? A zine. I made the zine. I could sell digital copies, but I don't. Right? It's got it's a print thing. It comes out every month. I have different authors. Dave Schrader wrote one. Varla Ventura wrote one. Richard Estep wrote one. Like, so I'm reaching out to like my friends who are authors and being like, let's write a short like story. It's too short for it's too long for an article, but too short for a book. And so each one is written by one author, and I'm just selling them online and selling them wherever I'm appearing. And I dig it. It's something tangible you can hold. Right? It can't be edited later. Like once you get it, if it's got a typo in it, like that's there for life.
That's it.
And so I'm trying to sort of go back to the old ways of actual print that can't be manipulated, throttled up or throttled down or controlled. And that's my wheelhouse. It's where I started.
Yeah.
It's where I'm comfortable.
Right.
Like I said, I'm not gonna try to get on TikTok. I'm gonna try to launch a new print publication, which doesn't make any sense.
I like it.
Yeah, but that's where the passion comes in, right?
Yeah.
And you can tell when somebody's passionate about the work that they're doing rather than just trying to fish for clout on your algorithm.
Yeah.
Well, okay, listen. I know you don't have TikTok, but I feel like we're venturing into, like Christmas and like the holiday and Yule, all that stuff. And to me, that I think of you. Okay. I think of you and all the creepiness around it. And I just like, I don't know. I have this vision. So the Mariah Carey sound where it's like, it's time.
Yeah.
It's like, would not be so funny if Jeff did that. Like for holiday, you could do it on Instagram.
It's like my Christmas show, I've got like 13 shows between now and December for just my Fright Before Christmas thing.
That's why I love it.
I was surprised you were saying you were kind of winding down. I'm like, I figure you're the one in the paranormal who made not only October, but also November and December now your sweet spot.
No, I did.
I love it.
But October was literally every night. Like there was one stretch where it was literally 7 nights in a row. And I'm like, I don't have a voice left. I'm exhausted. And then, the Christmas show isn't quite every single night, but it's getting there. My God, it keeps growing. That book sold a lot. Like it was the Fright Before Christmas did really, really well. And I love doing that show because first of all, I've got it down. I know it. It's to me like these stories, they're like songs, right? Once you get the song committed, the song and the crowd's going to sing along at certain parts and whatever. And it's great, but it's it's such a transformative story to tell, to say like, here's this thing you thought you knew, this thing that makes you say humbug. And let me show you where it came from. And then by the time we land together at the end, I think you're going to love this holiday more than you've ever loved it before, because it turns out it has very little to do with religion and everything to do with like, darkness and creepy stuff, but also more than anything, redemption. That this idea that all year long we're just ground down. All of us are. Yeah. But this one particular event, Yule, winter solstice, Christmas, whatever you choose to call it, I don't care, gives you the opportunity to make big changes and be a different person. And if we're honest, we're going to lose it by February, March, April. Like we're going to lose a little bit of that.
Yeah.
But then it comes around again and again offers you that hope of redemption that we so desperately need. Like how do I feel redeemed? And so I love that. And by the way, the only way to get redeemed, it turns out, is to be scared. Like talk to someone with health issues. Like I'm fine as they like scarf down cheeseburgers, and then they have a heart attack, and they're like, "I'm eating vegetables now." I'm like, "Yeah, you had a scare, and you were redeemed, right? That's how you change." You're like, I needed a good scare, and now I'm changing my ways. That's how all of us work. The Christmas song says, right? You better be good for goodness sake. I don't know anyone who can do that. Right? Like, be good for goodness sake. No, I can be good when I'm scared. When I'm like, okay, I'll change.
Very,
right?
Very true.
Yeah. So
when the Christmas scarecrow is going to come and stab you if you
right. Yeah. Yeah. When Krampus is like rattling his chains at your door, you're like, How does she behave better?
Yeah. Shit.
I'm listening. Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think, because when did you start doing the, what is it? Fright
Before Christmas?
Fright Before Christmas.
That started as like a live show that
I think,
10 years ago, 11 years ago. Yeah.
Because, we saw, I think was that the last Paracon, Zachary? He did that?
It was a couple years ago. I think you launched the book just like
maybe that's what I'm
years
thinking
ago,
of.
right?
Yeah. This is the third Christmas. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, I think that was your first Paracon, Kara, where we saw him do the stage show right when the book came out. Because,
Oh, did I do the Christmas one there? Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Because he threatened to lock us in and... I don't
yeah, that sounds like me.
Yeah. But no, it was great. I loved it. Yeah, I'm like, ooh, this is so fun.
Yeah, no, and it is fun, and I think that we're living in a time where people just sort of like run with a narrative that may not be true, and I get it. And the reason you do that is because you're so overwhelmed with information. Everybody is. We are not our little brains are not equipped for all the headlines that zoom in on your phone and on your computer and on your TV and wherever you're consuming media. It's just too much. We were never built to handle all this. So you buy into just a couple of things that may be wrong, but you buy into it because it's familiar and it's home and it gives you some sense of community. Like my friend here believes the same crazy things I do. And so does this friend. We stick together. Everything's fine. But that's not where you grow, and so if you do the work, if you get into the weeds with us and like dig through and explore, you don't have to change who you are fundamentally, but you might come out the other side just a little bit different. And that goes back to a legend being a sermon, and that some of us are the ministers. And whether we mean to be or not, we just tell these stories and let them do their noble work, right? Let those ghosts haunt who they're supposed to haunt. Let those monsters scare who they're supposed to scare. Let those mysteries dig in like worms into your brain and make you think like, well, could it be true? And well, what else could be true? And then suddenly you're thinking and growing thanks to something that a lot of people don't even believe is real, but it still did the work.
Love it.
And look at that. Just like the storyteller you are, you just brought that right back full circle with all the sermons. I feel like we should just call you like Father Belanger.
Oh God.
Point,
God, no. I was raised Catholic. I'm not meant for the priesthood. Too many skeletons.
All right.
Yeah.
Kara, before we let him go, should we hit him with some rapid fire questions?
Goodness,
sure.
I'm ready.
All right.
Okay. What's your favorite haunted location?
Oh, gosh. I'll say the White House.
Ooh. Okay.
Oh, I could see that being real creepy.
I wrote a children's book about it years ago, and I love that there are so many reliable witnesses, people that work there, first family members and so on that have over the years talked about the place being haunted. And I just love that you've got so much American history there and that so many decisions made in that building have literally like reshaped the world.
Yeah, wow, that's a good one. Okay, so what's the most overrated haunted place in your opinion?
Oh, to borrow something Jason and Grant would say on Ghost Hunters, like almost anything with a gift shop. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, for sure.
If you have a T-shirt that says "This is the world's most haunted location," it's overrated.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay, one legend. Now we know we can't, but one you would love to solve once and for all.
Oh God, I think so. The extraterrestrial thing always baffles me, right? So on the one hand, I don't believe the whole universe exists for just us on this one tiny little insignificant planet. That would be horribly inefficient, and nature has never proved itself horribly inefficient. I don't buy that at all. But why would they come here?
I always think that. Like, it doesn't,
Like, why?
One theory is that, and this is true, we do have the best pizza in the universe. It's true. Earth has the best pizza.
Yep.
It's just a fact.
I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, of all the planets I've been to, hands down, like it's not even close. So it could be the pizza. But why do these aliens look so human? You know, like we look the way we do. Like standing up with heads up here and arms and legs and eyeballs that are round, which are not great for seeing on land, but wonderful for underwater, which is where we came from.
Right.
We evolved the way we did because our planet is exactly the size it is, exactly the distance from the sun with the mix of oxygen and hydrogen and nitrogen and everything else. That's why we look the way we look. if Earth was 5 times bigger, we might be really low to the ground, like blobs. You know what I mean? Because it's just so much more mass. I don't know. Or if it was smaller, would be tall and skinny like sticks. So why do these aliens look so much like us? Why would they come all the way here? And not only that, I mean, you know, why would they not have helmets on? That's crazy, right? Think about it. If we went to another planet for some nutty reason, had the same mix of oxygen and nitrogen and everything else, if you took one breath on that other planet, you'd probably die from all the bacteria your body's not used to. Shoot, I went to Africa for 2 weeks and I couldn't drink the water because I would get sick, right? I had to drink bottled water. That's on the same planet. Right? Like
that's it's a good way to look at it.
I think you're onto something there.
If you grew up there, you'd be used to those bacteria. You'd be fine drinking the water. But I couldn't afford to get sick knowing I was only there for 2 weeks. So I would drink bottled water, even brush my teeth with bottled water. And that's the same planet. So
yeah, that's wild.
So to me, like, I don't know, it sort of comes back to like, the only thing that makes sense to me is time travel.
Yeah.
Right.
We've talked about that a lot. Yeah. The time travel aspect.
Does it have to be from here?
Yeah. Because we would have a vested interest in us. We would want to go back and be like, oh, where did we go wrong? 2025. There it is.
Yeah, for sure.
That was the moment things went bad.
Oh God, we could talk about this part forever. This is supposed to be rapid. Okay.
Go.
So dream collaboration or investigation. What do you have in mind?
Oh, collaboration. Do they have to be alive?
No.
Harry Price. I want to go ghost hunting with Harry Price. The original,
cool.
the OG.
That's a solid.
That would be really cool. Okay.
Like, I want to...
Great answer.
Raynham Hall, England, Harry Price.
Like
Halloween night. I mean, what the hell? Let's just keep going, right?
Keep adding to it.
Absolutely. No, just the screams in the background. Oh,
with a K.
Perfect.
Yes.
Of course you have to.
Absolutely.
Beer me, Price.
Okay.
Let's look for ghosts.
I love it.
Either adventure or paranormal or folklore side. If you could spend a night anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Oh, man. Lincoln bedroom. White House.
Ooh.
There you go.
The only way to get up there is invite of the first family. And because I keep all of my presidential campaign contributions right at zero, I don't think I'll ever get an invite for my financial generosity to anyone's campaign. So they'd have to just be a fan or something, I guess.
Okay. Well, you never know.
You never know. I'm still waiting for that phone call.
Okay. What is your favorite creepy, like Christmas, Yule, solstice story? What's your favorite one?
Grýla. The Grýla in Iceland.
I like Grýla.
That's hers.
That's my favorite. That's awesome.
So, wait. Where are you, girl? Where are you? She's around here somewhere. Oh, I don't know where she went.
You lost Grýla.
Uh-oh.
She's somewhere. She should be up there.
Uh-oh.
Grýla, where'd you go? No joke. Anyway, I'm a little nervous. You know what it is? It's about her time to come out. So I went to Iceland.
She's got to be getting ready.
I went to Iceland 2 summers ago.
Okay.
And I talked to I was so obnoxious. I'm just like, tell me about Grýla. Some people are like, Grýla? What are you even talking about?
Yeah,
like, Christmas, she comes down and she eats the children. Oh, that. Right? And
that one.
What I love about her, so I was in Iceland for the summer solstice.
Okay.
And there was like, I mean, an hour and a half maybe of twilight. It was just light all the time.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And during the winter solstice, it would have been the opposite, right?
Yeah.
There would have been just about a little bit of twilight, and then dark all the time. And I love the idea. I spoke to this folklorist in Reykjavik who was, he's explaining. He said when Iceland was first settled in the 800s, there were no people there. It was just empty. But there were imps and fairies and goblins and all kinds of magical creatures that got pushed from their homes up into the mountains where they would wait.
Yeah.
But on the solstice, they were free to come down. It's dark all the time. And they would sort of like collect their rent.
Yeah.
And
I love it.
I love that idea that this ancient way is sort of alive and well.
Yeah.
And also a little dangerous because that's how you're going to remember it. She's not here to like bring you cocoa. She's here to find your children that wander off alone and cut them up into a stew.
I love her.
Yeah.
Makes my stomach rumble.
But now it's bothering me. Where'd you go, Grýla?
Yeah, that's a little alarming. But like you said,
she's collecting children.
Fill in. Talk for a second.
He's got to find her.
If it starts to smell like stew out there, he might be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, there she is.
Oh, I love her. Love it.
Oh, what a cutie. What a cutie.
I knew I had her. Sorry, girl. I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, that was a little troubling for a minute.
There
love
she
it.
is.
I love her.
Beautiful.
So cute.
Yeah.
That's going to be the clip. All right,
that's the clickbait.
Last one.
Just him holding up his little Grýla.
Perfect. Right there.
Love it
Found
so
her.
much. Oh
All right.
my God.
Last one. Difficult one.
Okay.
What's the best paranormal TV show?
Best paranormal TV show. There's only one left.
No, of all time. It doesn't have to be on.
Oh, of all time? Oh,
yeah.
Oh God. With Leonard Nimoy in the 80s.
Ooh.
In Search of.
Not one that I've ever watched, but I need to
No.
go to the archives now.
Yeah,
Well, there's a newer version the History Channel put out starring the guy that played Spock in the new reboots of Star Trek.
Oh,
Amazing.
okay.
And I was on one of those episodes, which was cool. But because I was like, oh my God, I'm on an episode of In Search of, not with Leonard Nimoy, but when I was a kid, like those were I was like, whoa, like that was the earliest memory of just being like, whoa, that's freaky. Like there's some really mysterious stuff.
I want to
out
look
there.
into this.
Yeah.
I wonder if we can find it anywhere.
I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure somewhere.
Hopefully.
All right. So what we want to do is let you, if there's anything you want to plug anywhere, you want to send people. But first, before I forget, because I will be murdered and turned into a ghost if I don't do this, my sister Emily wanted me to say hello. And she's a huge fan. And thank you for her Valentine's cards over the years.
Hi, Emily.
You've made her day every time.
Oh, my God.
So the Valentine started, my daughter was in kindergarten. And she made a Valentine, handmade a Valentine for every kid in the class. And I'm
So
like,
precious.
that is so damn adorable. I love that. I'm like, when did we stop doing Valentines for like anybody but like someone you're romantically involved in? And I was like, you know what? So I just posted online. I'm like, hey, I got like a package of kids' Valentines. I'm like, if you need a Valentine for me, send me your address. I'll mail it to you.
That's so precious.
And like, in like seconds, I had like 30 emails and I was
You're
like,
oh no.
oh. So then the next year I'm like, all right, I'm capping it at 100. And I did 100. And then now, like Frank and I make an actual Valentine postcard, and we cap it at 200. It's expensive. Like you got to get those printed, and then the postage. And so, so I've been doing this ever since. So I've been doing it for she's almost 19 now. So I guess I've been doing this for like, I don't know, 13 years or so, like something like that.
That's so cute. I love that.
So I know it means a lot to some people, and I always tell people, like, I'm just asking you to pay this forward. Like, just do something kind for someone else.
Yeah.
That's all I ask. And I remember, I think it was at Michigan Paracon, some older gentleman, probably like in his late 60s, walked up to me and very soft spoken, very quiet, and just sort of pulled me aside. And he said, that's the first Valentine I've received in 45 years.
I knew you were going to just start making.
And I was just like, oh, I'll never stop doing this.
That is so cute.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I'm like,
okay, you're so kind.
Well, hopefully he cured cancer or something. I'm like, pay it forward.
So. He paid it forward. Great.
Right.
This is really random, and I'm sorry, but you said your daughter is 19 now. So does she have her own radio show, or she just was on a radio show? I saw you play
does.
That is
today.
so cool.
So she's going to college, and it's funny because like, she grew up around me, right? And I would take her to stuff. I'd take her to, like, if I was on the radio locally or whatever, I would just bring her along. Like, hey, come see Dad's Weird Job.
That's so cool.
And so, but like the funny thing is she didn't listen to the radio much growing up. I mean, a little, but not a lot. She was more like, Pandora and Spotify. And so every college she looked at, she'd be like, do you have a radio station? They all do. They all did. And so she's going to her school, and one of her first priorities was to join the campus radio station. And now every Monday, she's got her own show. She curates the music, whatever she wants to play, and then like has a little snippets here and there between it. And I'm just like, I love that you're doing that.
That's
and
so cool.
I've got so many friends in radio, like Tim Ellis, from Michigan and stuff. I have so many friends that have worked in broadcast radio. Ray Osier, my co-host for the New England Legends podcast, he was in radio for 25, 26 years now. And I remember him telling me, he goes, that's so cool. She's got her own radio show on campus. That's the great. It's so, I love that. He goes, but if she wants to make a career at this, you make sure she talks to Uncle Ray first. I will talk her right out of it.
Yeah.
Because there's no money in radio.
Not anymore. Yeah. Oh, wow. No, I just thought that was cool.
Yeah. Tim Dennis from Darkness Radio. He was just like, he's like, that's going to be great. She's going to be syndicated on 45 stations, making $10 an hour and broadcasting from your basement. And I was like, oh. Okay, well,
great.
We'll work on that, I guess. So anyway,
it's just a cool
she's got to do a zine and the public speaking, and
but I'm like, I told her, I love that you're using your voice, and you're in a city and your drive time, like you're putting music together, and she is all over the place with her music. Like,
that's cool.
Rolling Stones, Ethel Cain, like everything in between, like anything is on the table with her. And so she's putting together this really eclectic mix of music.
I love that.
And like, I'm like, someone's driving along, grooving to, like, you know, they're scooping what you're pooping, you know, and like, how cool is it?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
Fun.
Sorry, that was side tangent, but I know I saw that somewhere. So that's awesome. Good for her.
Yep. She's rocking.
All right. Well, is there anything else you want to plug? We just plugged your daughter.
Yeah, where can people find you?
Well, my website's my name, jeffbelanger.com, and you can find me at Exploring Legends on Facebook and Instagram, and that's and Legend Tripping on YouTube. That's all I can handle, folks. I can't, and I'm not even good at like interacting. I can just sort of be like, this is what's going on. Yeah, and my books are out wherever you get your books. The new one is Wicked Strange New England, and then the Christmas book is Fright Before Christmas, which is really cool. It sold more its second year than its first year. So I feel like it's becoming sort of like this holiday tradition for some people. And which I'm really grateful for, because I adore the story, you know?
No, it's cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, we'll make sure that the website is linked in the show notes below.
Great.
And then, yes, Kara, take it away.
You need to pick an emoji for the listeners that made it this far. They just drop a little emoji on a social media. So what emoji?
It's our little test.
Yes. I'm going to tell you the emoji because it's in my new book, Wicked Strange New England. And it's simple. It's very simple. It's a simple emoji.
Okay.
And the emoji is the smiley face.
I knew you were going to say that.
What you may not realize is that the smiley face dates back to 1963 when a guy named Harvey Ball developed it as an ad agency. And that smiley face, did he think to copyright it, trademark it, or otherwise? No. Every time you use that smiley face, a guy named Harvey Ball from Worcester, Massachusetts is the guy that invented
He
it.
talked about that at one of the lectures we listened to, because I do remember that. And it had to have come from you. That's cool.
So,
all right.
Yep,
I love
there
it.
he is.
Smiley
Next time
face.
you use the simple smiley face, just be like, thanks, Harvey Ball. You're the
I
best.
love that. All right. Well, we
Perfect.
appreciate you so much for hanging out with us. We know you're
thank you
busy.
so much.
So I hope all your holiday stuff and everything goes well. All your little
Thank you.
lectures. I wish it will. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We know you love our guests and we hope you love this one, but why wouldn't you? Make sure you leave that smiley emoji and go follow Jeff everywhere and buy his books and review them, right? We need reviews on books.
The reviews help
That's
a
what
lot.
we need to do. Yes.
Yeah.
So do that. But the most important thing that you can do for us is to creep a reel, my little oddballs.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.
Why did I know he was going to do that?